All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight. Our second game of the evening, the second semi-final. We have UCD versus UU. I am joined by the lovely Ro.
Hello, everybody. How you getting on?
So, we've just got the vetoes in. Do you want to run us through the maps there, Ro?
Sure thing. So we have UCD vetoed Vertigo, Ulster vetoed Inferno, so that they were the two insta bans coming out, and then UCD picked Nuke as their first map, so Ulster chose to start as the CT side for that, and then Ulster's pick was Train, and UCD of course would pick CT side for that as well. UCD then getting the choice to veto Dust 2 and Ulster vetoes Overpass, so map 3 will be Mirage. So I think it's a very I mean it's a fair decider map, you know. Mirage, I think everybody knows a thing or two of how to play Mirage. So
Yeah,
as
it's a
with the
comfort
the
pick.
other maps though, there's been a bit of interest and gossip I got from the Ulster captain, that they've learnt some Vertigo stuff, or not Vertigo, sorry, my apologies, Nuke stuff, and they may have a few things up their sleeve, but I'm not holding out. You know, who knows? But
Who
it's
knows,
possible.
indeed. Well,
What are
anyway,
your thoughts on the other maps, Evan?
that's a good question. So, I'm very excited to see what UU can bring to Nuke, because obviously Nuke is probably UCD's like most comfortable map. Everyone on the team is a big fan of it. Train, however, I think UU could, if UU are going to take a map this series, it's probably going to be Train, and if they can
Mm,
capitalize off the back of Train, they might be able to take Mirage as well.
yeah.
But personally, my favorites going into this, completely unbiased, obviously, UCD.
Yeah, that's very fair. Um, I mean, I don't know. If the way Broken, the IGL captain, was hyping it up to me as if they've got everything sorted out, which I'm not gonna read into the hype too much, but who knows? There might be a few things. So yeah, I think I'll agree with you. I think this will be UCD's win. Probably 2-0 if things go the way of Ulster, however, and they're true to their word and their anti strats. Who knows? It could be a 2-1, maybe the UCD, maybe a close decider map or something like that. But yeah, I think UCD might just take this one.
Indeed. Let's have a look at the brackets really quickly, because I have this up on the screen now. So, into the first team into the finals is the game that was just played earlier. TUD are through. So this game here is for the second slot in the finals, obviously. UCD had to beat Trinity to get here, which they beat them 2-0. And Ulster Unicorns had to beat the UCD B team, which they also did 2-0. So on paper, this is likely to be a very, very competitive match. And I hope it is, because there's nothing like a good competitive match in an ice semi-final to decide the final.
It's quite interesting actually as well. Just looking at the playoff brackets, there has not been a single decider map. It's been straight 2-0s so far. So it
Hmm,
could be it could be a sign, you know?
could indeed
Maybe
be a
this
sign.
will be the continuation of this trend, or perhaps the spanner in the works. This could be the one to upset it all. But yeah, as you were saying, game just passed there earlier. Started at just around 6 o'clock, I believe. It was a 2-0 win for TUD, so they're in the final, and they will be waiting the victors of this game. And here's hoping it's going to be a good one.
Indeed. We should also mention these two teams did come up against each other earlier in the tournament, with UCD taking the win. So UU have had a feel for how they play, and as a result of that, they might be able to reach some conclusions and maybe change some things that maybe didn't work, and change it up moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's quite a big thing. But like on the flip side, if you're UCD, you might realize maybe some of the flaws or the weaknesses that you may show in their game, and you might want to capitalize on that more. Will be interesting to see how both of these teams have developed from the group stages into where they are at now in the playoffs, and where it looks like we're just going to get started into the pistol round straight off. So here we go,
Ah,
CT
here
side
we
for
are.
Ulster. UCD T side. What are you thinking? Standard UCD T-side strat? What is it? You
It's
got
probably going
anything
to
up
be an
your
A
sleeve?
rush of some description. Ruben has a
Out the
couple
door.
of grenades I know he likes to throw through the upper window area, so they're probably going to burst Hut or out Squeaky either. Looks like it's going to be Hut as Blue Penguin gets that first kill onto Incipients, but they're just being flooded on the bomb site. Mr. Turtle picks up one. Aiden picks up another. Long trades it out, making it a 3 versus 3. Tonesy will pick up Ruben, and Long picks up Danny as well, so 3 versus 2. Mr. Turtle is on very low HP. He will also be dropped by Tonesy. Now it is just Aiden left in a 1 versus 3. He will get that first kill onto Long, but broken. Flanking around the edge of the silo on the A bomb site will get that final kill and silence that clutch potential. And that's going to be a pretty good start for UU.
Yeah, very good. It is quite difficult to you can see Tonzi in the chat there. No 16-0, there we go. Yeah, it's quite good for Ulster to get that first round in the board, especially on the map that the UCD loves so much. And we could see they had the strat set up there with the nades over the roof. Fortunately, I think for Ulster they just had the frags going their way, and that worked out well for them. So standard enough deco round here for UCD, just trying to get some picks off the starting blocks here. Belong with the scout, won't get his head ripped off just yet, and Sivian's watching that, but Mr. Turtle almost does. Just taking it ever so slowly on the outside angle here. Belong is playing very dangerously there. Ruben does take a little bit of damage there onto the ramp position, but it seems like it's going to be a slow round here, just waiting for any team to make a mistake, a peek, something going awry, and Aiden through the smoke will get taken down by Blue Penguin.
Disgusting shot. Recipients will get the trade though, however, as he takes down Blue Penguin with those deagle body shots. And it is a 4 versus 4. Looking like they're just kind of poking and prodding and seeing what sticks here. They don't have much control. They have a good bit of outside control, but that is also going to be contested from Belong in that CT position.
Important that Tonesy and Broken have some sort of communication here as well, as Long will in fact get that frag onto the site, dropping the bomb. Gets a second onto Danny as well. Mr. Turtle, not long for the world leaders, just Incipients left now.
Who will fall to Tonesy. And that is a very clean round from UU, all things considered, only one player falling. So they will be able to probably hold on to their weapons moving into this round, bring one M4 in from Blue Penguin, who did fall. But UCD now have 5 AKs to their name, and very good utility because they did get that bomb plant in the first round, and they didn't invest too much into the last round. So the economy here definitely favors UCD, but so I mean, so far UU are having flawless. So
yeah, I mean, this will be the big round to test it. And look at that meat grinder. Ruben killing his teammate before Tonesy chimes in with 2 of his own. Incipients and Turtle to trade it back, though. A 3 versus 2 now for Ulster. Very, very costly initial peaks there from the UCD side. Mr. Turtle down to 19 HP as well. As they slow it down that little bit. Yeah, team kill was very big. It's going to be a slow one here now, just maybe trying for a contact play onto one of the 2 sites here, but Long will be watching from Squeaky, and he'd be able to see the walkout from Hut when they reach over to the site. And he might just get into a little bit of bother here. The smoke goes down and he spots the frag before Mr. Turtle is allowed to be covered up by the smoke there, and it's just Incipients now in a 1 versus 3. Oh, so close to dying here, turning away from the angles, but eventually headshot from Blue Penguin will take him down. Round number 3 on the board now for Ulster.
Very big round for Ulster to win there. They had, of course, the sort of bonus round where they held on to their SMGs and the scout. And they only lost 2 players as well, so they were able to pick up 2 AKs as well on top of that. So their economy is going to be booming on the back of that. UCD will be able to get a buy, however, because Incipients did manage to get that bomb plant down. We will see 4 AKs coming out and a scout in the hands of Ruben, who is, I would say, pretty proficient with the scout, all things considered. Look at this from Tonezu, though. With an XM coming out, he's going to probably be taking that towards ramp.
Up close and personal with the XM, it seems. Oh, he's really pushing with that aggro smoke as well. Aiden on the other side of that might just get flushed out by the Molotov. The ticks will give a sound cue, and Tonesy fires off the shotgun. Won't get any further damage done, though. Only 10 HP taken away. Now with the follow-up nade, down to 75 HP for Aiden. In the meantime, Broken taking a little bit of damage himself before Belong gets that first frag on the Incipients. First frag on the outside area, and he's just going to fall back for a little crossfire here with Blue Penguin as Ruben out of the scout. Goes for the no-scope headshot through the wall. Blue Penguin absolutely taken out of that.
Oh
Oh,
my
if you're Blue
god.
Penguin, you're raging right now. You're raging. Belong now left by himself after that disgusting shot there. 3 players to contend with here shortly. Just holding this outside angle. Flash goes in. Unfortunately, he's not able to get the frag. Had the initial angle, dodged the flash as well, but it didn't work out for him. Broken had to get the frag there as well. It'll have to be long to do it. Only good for one, and now Tonesy, the one with the XM at the start of the round, having to do it all, decides to go for the deagle instead. Gives away his position there. And that's that.
Aiden just removing him from the round was just destroying his hopes and dreams and giving UCD their first round on the board. Relatively clean for UCD as well, considering the buy you had going into that. They will be able to buy 5 AKs this next round. UU, however, on the back of a 3-round win streak, do also have a pretty decent buy, as we will see 4 M4s and an AUG coming out in the hands of Belong.
Yeah, safe to say that was a massive frag from Ruben into Mini there. However, Belong doesn't want any more outside frags going the way of UCD. Unfortunately, he can't allow that. Mr. Turtle to get that one on himself. Now Long having to drop down out of heaven and maybe watch for push into secret here, but it looks like they're just going to take their time. Eventually dropping down into secret and now trying to funnel their way onto the B site.
Utility coming out to burn a player away from the door, and it looks like they're going to go towards the single door position as Aiden is going to hold off where Tonesy is hiding behind the double doors. The players will fall out onto the bomb site. A grenade from long, though, should do a good bit of damage. It does only just nip Aiden on the edge. Mr. Turtle, though, look at this flank. Huge flank from him. He takes out Blue Penguin on the A bomb site. The bomb goes down. Retake coming in. Aiden making first contact there. Danny getting the kill. Tonesy picking up one. Broken picking up one as well. And now it's just Broken in the 1 versus 2. Aiden is a 1-hit kill, so he needs to be very careful with his life here. He will spot out Broken, and that's going to give Mr. Turtle the opportunity to come in with the flank and make a bit of noise. He will just swing and take out Broken, who does actually get almost a from the grave grenade onto Aiden to take him out. But that now is a second round for UCD Leviathans.
Yeah, and that will be the round where it will be an eco round here, or a half buy it seems now for Ulster. Getting the deagle on Tonesy there, P250s, nades, etc. Looks like they might just chuck a few nades here outside, it seems. Try to do some damage, but there will be nobody waiting there. Instead, 3 players in lobby waiting for any sort of progression as Ruben now barreling on through 1, 2, and not able to get the third just yet. Aiden will get the third onto Blue Penguin, and that is the A-bomb side opened up.
Beautiful movement from Ruben there.
Without a single UCD player dying there. I say that when he gets that 1 dig.
Long gets one as well onto Aiden. 1 versus 3. Danny pushing through that main smoke. He will take out Belong, ending the UU eco frags. That was a lovely shot from Tonesy though. But that little surf from Ruben on top of A main is actually really difficult to do properly, and he executed it well. So he kind of caught UU off guard there, I think. However, going into round number 7, it will be an AWP coming out in the hands of Belong on UU. That's big to see. It's the first one broken out this game so far. Both teams have a pretty solid buy. Looks like it's going to be a fast ramp push. Tonesy is going to have a lot of work to do. He will get that first kill onto Aiden and get away unscratched with his life. That is UCD in control of ramp now as they charge down onto the B-bomb site. Tonesy will spot out Incipients, but he won't quite get the frag just yet, but he will get Mr. Turtle before Incipients does trade him out. Should be the bomb going down uncontested here. You do have a man advantage here.
Yeah, big play there from Tonesy to even get that second frag was very important. Will allow his team now to hopefully get a good retake onto the B site. 2 players coming in from ramp, Long coming in from the single door. And Belong taking his time with this AWP. He has to be careful, checking every angle with the scope. The flashes and smokes now rain in. First damage done there from Ruben. They don't realize where he is. He's still in the back of that site. He gets 2 frags because of it. Just Belong now, 20 HP, and he realizes maybe I should just head off with this AWP instead. And what seemed to be a fairly close round and perhaps even a retake win for Ulster, well, it's ended in disaster, and Belong just has to hold on for dear life, and he will save the AWP.
That'll be an awkward one to carry around into this round, considering the rest of his team are probably going to be ecoing. We see 4 Mag 7s come out. Oh my god, I love it.
You know what? Fair play. I rate this.
I do. I
don't
definitely.
know what choke points they're gonna pick on. Probably like on top of the roof here on Hut. Yeah, they're making their way. Blue Penguin instead actually feeling a little bit risky. They're pushing lobby. The damage being done, but no frags going their way just yet. Broken just running straight past Danny. And somehow Danny survives that whole entire onslaught. It's just Belong now with this AWP, and I would be fairly certain that he wasn't long for the world. There we go. Round number 5 now for UCD.
I was really rooting for UU in that round because it's such a fun weapon to see. But alas, it was not meant to be.
Yeah.
They're in a good spot money-wise now, though, however, so they will be able to get a good buy-in here. If you're just joining us now, this is the second matchup of this evening. The first game of of TUD versus WIT ended with TUD taking a 2-0 victory. So they are our first finalists, and this game now is to figure out who's going to be competing against them next Wednesday.
Yeah, and at the minute it was looking fairly good for Ulster at the start, but UCD, after losing the pistol round, and obviously the subsequent rounds are fairly obviously going to go for the CTs as well, they've brought themselves back into this 5 rounds on the trot here, and that opening frag onto Tonesy is massive for Ruben there with the AWP.
Yeah, great little angle from him. He held it pretty tight, so he was disciplined enough and he was quick enough to get the reaction kill. That is a lot of control now. It looks like, yeah, Long has dropped down from A Heaven to watch at least the A flank from ramp, but he's not going to contest the ramp, which I respect because he is by himself and he doesn't have a lot of utility to work with here. So if you're UU in this position, you kind of just want to make sure they don't flank to A and set up for a retake on B, which it looks like they will do as Blue Penguin has found his way to the single door down in the lower bomb site. This is a great flank from Aiden, though. He should get this kill onto Broken, and that he does. And the 180 onto Long! Oh, dirty. Dirty. Is he going to expect Blue Penguin? He does. Oh my goodness. And now it's Belong holding onto that AWP again. That's
a great little flank, yeah.
That's a clip. That's going in the highlight reel.
Very important. I think that's not the first time that there has been that flank play, at least catching one player off guard from UU. And it's worked absolutely brilliantly there. Unfortunately, Aiden gets flashed by his teammate. It looks like it's just going to be the firing gallery here for Belong trying to save the side VP. But yeah, great little bit of information play, realizing that they have that sort of late rotate. Okay, 4 frags for Belong.
They thought that he needed a bit of stat padding, I think.
Yeah,
so
pad up the stats. Yeah, we take this. So yeah, fair enough. Well played for UCD there, catching off that flank. And I think Aiden, he might have got a little bit lucky there that I'm not entirely sure who was in garage, but he probably should have been holding that walk up into mini. But yeah, well played. Another great round there on the board for UCD.
And it is going to be a bit of a force buy coming out from UU now, as we see a lot of SMGs coming out, and still the AWP in the hands of Belong, but that will be dropped by Danny from the silo position. I don't think they're going to be able to reclaim that just yet. They are aware of the possibility, but... Ooh, Blue Penguin will find Incipients on the red box. He's going to get a second one onto Mr. Turtle as well. That's now an AK in the hands of UU with a man advantage. Suddenly this round isn't looking so favourable to UCD. As Broken as well on the A bomb site will take out Aiden. Danny unable to trade at the moment. He will get a flick onto Long, but that's just Ruben left in the 1 versus 3 and he will fall to the MP9 of Tonesy. What a round.
Yeah, great round is sort of coming out from absolutely nothing there for Ulster. A nice bit of aggression play. I think it was from Blue Penguin with the UMP. First frag, yeah, fair enough. He got a player walking through the smoke, but a nice flick shot to get that headshot on the second player. And then after that, it was sort of a series of favorable duels for the Ulster side. And there you go. That's the round you need to get yourselves back on the board here. And the reply looks like it's going to be a full send here onto the outside, and Blue Penguin might have a shot cut out. Gets absolutely ripped through the smoke. Headshot from Incipiens there. Clearing the path now into the B-bomb site. Toonsy just watching that angle. Salon gets one frag. Toonsy only good for one himself. Ruben to trade him out, but it's a 3 versus 3 now in the retake. And Broken's feeling cheeky. Doesn't get the frag though. 16 HP. Ruben's able to survive. And Aiden, watching the flanks as usual, catches another frag onto long, so it's just Belong. And I think it's that time again.
Game time.
GM time. Belong time, I think we'll be calling it soon enough.
He's going to jump up into the air and fly into the abyss above him. Although Aiden is in a good spot here to actually stop him from holding on to that. This could be good timing here. Or bad timing, depending from whose perspective.
Oh, yeah, they don't realize. The flashbangs will give it away at least. But Belong might be able to... Oh, this is really awkward.
He's just hiding full stealth mode.
Is he
Mr.
safe?
Turtle might spot
He's
him.
safe.
Just...
James Bond himself.
That was close.
Nice. And yeah, hopefully this op can do some big damage here. Broken now opting for this XM play. Didn't really favor Tonesy whenever he did it, but Broken I think's in a better spot. Never mind, he's going to be joining Tonesy in ramp. And it might actually work out very well from here. Just ramp through the smoke. First shot goes his way. Gets that second thanks to Tonesy. Tonesy follows it up as well. The third going the way of Broken now. Or the fourth in the round, I should say. 2 for the both ramp players. Well, I thought it was a risky decision to have 2 players in ramp there, but it seemed to have worked out brilliantly then for Ulster. And Toonsy finishes it off. And a bit of a resurgence now. They did lose that previous round, but getting 2 out of the last 3 rounds is still definitely better than what some of us may have expected. Keeping it just close enough for now, but again, this is the CT side, and you're probably expecting maybe a little bit more from the CT side, maybe a 10-5 or 9-6. So 7 rounds for UCD already is very good. And we're just getting a little tech pause here. I think there might just be a little restart needed for one of the UCD players.
Yeah, Danny's mum's watching Netflix or something. He's going to have to restart his internet. Get those ping spikes out of here.
Standard.
Let's have a look at the scoreboard real quick. We have Tonesy sitting on the 14 kills right now. He's absolutely popping off. Belong not far behind, 11 kills, but that is, of course, slightly skewered by the couple of save rounds, but still respectable nonetheless. And the rest of the players are pretty much tied up with UCD. I wish we could see Danny's kills here. I imagine he probably is at the top, just judging by how the kills look on UCD and the rounds they have. It is also worth mentioning that the Ulster Unicorns do actually have a coach, JRCB, so a lot of stuff happening besides behind the scenes there that we can't exactly comment on as casters because we don't know, but I'm sure he is doing his part in ensuring those 5 rounds at least for UU so far, so fair play to the coach.
Yeah, there may be some we can do some speculation. Maybe there's a little bit of anti-Stratton, as Broken was telling me. Maybe JRCB, my apologies, has been helping out with that, but I do know that he does play for Ulster's second team, so I think that might give us sort of a clue as to how he's involved, and he obviously knows his way around a map of CS. So
yeah, someone
we'll
who's time for
maybe. Sorry, go on ahead.
Sorry, someone who has time for 2 teams is probably quite dedicated in terms of the time they're putting in. So he probably knows his stuff. He's probably done his research.
Yeah, and I think fair enough. Ulster, I mean, they were happy to gamble. Some would say happy. Yeah, well, if you're not Ulster, you're probably thinking this is a massive gamble to let UCD play in their favorite map. or a map that they found very comfortable to play on. So fair play. 5 rounds, still fairly commendable, but you would be wanting to get a few more in the CT side specifically, and hopefully Belong can maybe open up that outside area for them. He does seem to be the player that's always saving, so if he could get those first entry frags, that might flip the control into the way of you. But we'll just have to wait and see.
That we will. Seems like there's a bit of a juggling show match going off in the CT spawn there. Over in C, it looks like they're just having a nice little coffee break as they wait for Danny to return. We have had word from our admin that he is still in the process of technical difficulty, so hopefully he'll be back shortly. Coming into this round, actually, worth noting, UCD are in a very weird space economically because some of the players can afford like an up with like body armor but nothing else, and the other players are going to be forced to full eco. So I imagine we will see a force spy coming out, perhaps even an AWP or a glass cannon in the hands of Mr. Turtle. Incipient's probably going to go for that Deagle body armor, a grenade or two. Asian will probably have an AK.
Yeah, if you're Incipients, you're going to be in a pretty bad buy regardless. So you might as well just force up into this next round.
Yeah, you'll be eco the next round regardless. So yeah.
Yeah. So if yeah, the money is it's not the greatest. Like if it was sort of balanced the whole way around, you would be like, yeah, fair enough. But there are some discrepancies here, and I wonder actually what um Danny's money was like before he sadly passed on. So it looks like Ruben's making the call anyway to buy up into this round. So they must be fairly confident with what's about to happen in this round. Maybe a full send somewhere. We can see he's got a smoke flashes all sorted up. So
Yeah, maybe they'll feed Tonzi on ramp again. Tonzi, was it
get
who was
the
it with the
XM out.
shotgun? Broken, was it?
Yeah, Broken did well. I think Toonsy tried it the first time and it didn't work out for him, but it was Broken, I think, to get it then with the backing of Toonsy with that M4. It was a big meat grinder.
That it was. Also worth noting on the CT side, 4 AKs. That's not something you regularly see when the T side are currently in the lead, but definitely something you like to see when you're on the CT side. So 4 AKs in AWP definitely going to probably favor them coming into it.
Yeah, you've got a full T side basically to come up against here. That's not something you really want to face. And these
Yeah,
AKs can do big damage, especially if you sort of position some of them on the more longer range areas. You know, getting that one tap instead of the dink can make all the difference.
indeed.
On
Yeah.
on the flip side, though, if you are glass cannoning, it doesn't really matter if you get headshot. You know, so 50-50, eh?
Indeed. We've just had word that the game is back live on the real time. So in about a minute or so, we'll be kicking off here again. Danny is going to be back with us as he's already back in the Discord call with the UCD fellas.
Any inside scoops you can give us, Evan? Or is it all
Hmm.
top secret?
Well, the one game I played with UCD was the most chaotic game of Counter Strike I've ever played. So insights is probably force by every round sort of thing. No, I'm just kidding. Um, I know they're comfortable on this map. This is probably the likes of Incipiens and Aiden. It's definitely their favorite map. I think Mr. Turtle is also a
Mm.
fan of it. So they're pretty comfortable on it in general. And this scoreline, so late into the half, they're also probably pretty happy with. They're probably expecting to lose this round and then going to pick up the last one to hopefully make it a 9-6 in their favor, which will give them a lot of room to move around on the CT side, which is their preferred side as well. And here we have it. Danny is rejoined. Now, quickly, let's look at his money before
Ooh.
he buys anything. 2,400. Yeah, so he'll probably force up body armor and like a Galil or a Scout or something like that. Oh, a Mac 10. I love it.
Ooh.
Full armor, or full
Going for the util instead, yeah.
yeah, full grenades. That's a
Looks
buy and a
like
half. Tech
that'll be
9.
yeah. It's an interesting one, eh? And that is that.
We are ready. Apologies for the delays, everybody. We're just getting back into the action now. This is, of course, our second tournament, our second match of the evening, first map, as we are trying to decide who our finalists will be for next week. As TUD have already made it into the finals. On the other side of the bracket, taking out WIT, it's now UCD versus UU, and this is the first map of the best of 3.
Here we go. Right back into the action. Ruben to lead the charge straight down into the vents there, and Sipiens to follow. And I think Long is just a little bit too slow in realizing what's happening. And if we just have a look at Incipients here, as the bomb goes down, look at this position. Will the Ulstermen fall for it here? Aiden, the flank king, always watching. Unfortunately, wasn't watching the right angle at the right time. Broken and Blue Penguin getting frags as Danny gets one himself. Molotoving off any sort of positioning for the Ulster players into the vents. But the bomb has been smoked and the defuse is underway. Incipients to try challenge. Won't get anything done. Blue Penguin gets Mr. Turtle. The time is taken away and he's taken so long. The flashbang goes through. 10 HP. Oh,
He's got
no.
it.
Oh,
And he's done
dear.
it. 1 versus 4. An ace for him in this round. 3 diffusers he denied there. Unbelievable. What a round.
I'm so confused.
He's
Yeah,
doing great
I
work
mean,
in that Squeaky's position there, holding off the rotate for so long, just getting that one pick. And then when the moment was right, he just charged down the vent and just one at a time took him out. Great stuff.
yeah, it seemed like such a done round there, and just that I think that big play where stopping any rotations coming through the vents was the start of the big plays, the big brain plays, and then the spam through the smoke was all he needed to finish it off there. And fair play, that is a big round that you do want to win. You can still see though the effects of losing some of the previous rounds here for UCD. Galil and a scout for Incipiens, Aiden and Ruben. So they're not out of the woods just yet, and Ulster might just need to take a quick break and reset into this as some of the smokes fall through, and Belong will take a scout shot to the body. And Mr. Turtle might just find Blue Penguin here. 17 HP he's tagged down to. And Blue Penguin's just going to throw that Molotov on top of the silo. So the initial sort of scuffs here slightly going the way of Ulster.
Indeed, a slower round for UCD. Seem to be poking and prodding. Although look at Ruben, as I said, that he's already in Squeaky.
Doesn't look like they notice this either, which could be a massive spanner in the works later down the line. But Tonesy, he is playing a little bit deeper into the B site rather than playing up on ramp. And I think Ulster realised something may be afoot here.
Indeed, I like this as well. Tonesy already on the B bomb site.
Timing here. Ruben spotting out a player there in mini. Runs down to secret and then shifts right back up. Misses the no-scope, however, and Blue Penguin will punish him. Belong to catch off Mr. Turtle, and now the bomb is down in lobby and they realise this. Danny popping through, somehow gets that frag as Aiden coming up from heaven will get the frag under broken. The mini player there, Blue Penguin again, doing big damage, but he is taken out again by Aiden. 1 versus 2 now for Tonesy.
There's some utility to work with here.
Jump. All in the timing here. Flash goes through, the Molotov's big. Aiden to fall, fully blinded, and Danny through that little gap in the smoke is able to get that last frag into Tonesy. 19 HP. And that is round number 9 on that, what would most people would consider a very CT-sided map. This is huge for UCD.
It is, yeah. You really want to be winning this last round now if they want to have a hope of taking this map. They do have a decent buy. It's a buy in comparison to UCD's buy. It's a buy. 2 rifles, only 2 rifles actually on both teams, which is interesting to see. And both teams forced down to 1 pistol as well. Galil and a scout on UCD, and an MP9 and a scout over on UUU. Oh, Tonesy's found himself into a nice spot.
It's not ideal, but I think the guns have sort of realized that, you know, they can push up. Unfortunately, Aiden and Incipients have been watching for it. And it'll be another B take here.
That it will, by the looks. A lot of control coming out from UCD here. UU not really doing anything to contest the areas that they've lost or to retake them, which I think is going to be their downfall in this round. Although Belong does manage to pick up a tagged Incipients, and Long is in a good spot here to take out Aiden. That he will. He'll take out that AK. 2 versus 3. Long also has a lot of utility to work with here, but looks like down on the low bomb site where the bomb is planted, UCD are being very disciplined in what they're peeking and holding. What an angle from Ruben! Through the hole in the door, he finds the head of Belong. Danny should get that kill there onto Long. That he will. And that's a 10-5 half on the T side for UCD. So, win conditions now in the second half for UU. They definitely need the pistol round. And if they don't get the pistol round, they're going to need either the fourth spy or the first spy round. And they just need to start stringing rounds back to back to back. Which is, it's a big ask, but it's the reality they now find themselves in if they don't want to go one down here. As of course, this is a best of 3.
It's going to be a tough climb here now for Ulster, and they've called another pause here for this pistol round strat. It will have to be a big one, get this round, and hopefully that will be them back on track. But yeah, just highlight from that previous half there, Ruben really showing us some good work with that scout. Got 2 nice frags of that one through that little gap in the door, and then of course the wall bang and mini really showing us how it's done.
Absolutely, yeah. Interesting on the CT side right now, Ruben has bought a kit and 2 flashes, so I'm wondering, the UCD have an actual set strat here? Gonna keep an eye out for that anyway.
On the Ulster side, Long with the nades and the smoke. Looks like he's going to blow out the door here and possibly use the smoke in a retake situation post-plant for them. Ruben to pop the flashbang down on from heaven, but Incipients and Ruben all getting frags. They don't even realize there's still UCD players on the site. Mr. Turtle getting frags. Flashbangs in. 1 player left. It's Long, 20 HP. He doesn't even know where he's getting shot from. 3 players, 3 different angles, and unfortunately he's not going to be long for the world there. And in the end, it was a fairly easy round for UCD.
Indeed, I think those flashes were just used to hold off the push for a second longer. Chucked them both on site. Did the job. He got a couple of enemies flashed there and definitely delayed the push long enough for the rest of UCD to just come in from every other single angle. And they'll have a good buy coming into this one, and UU just going to go for the full eco. A P250 and a Deagle will be the only money invested into this. Like Ruben is getting antsy here in hot position. He'll find that kill onto Blue Penguin, peeking right into the open. And then he will fall off. Discipline, just respect that. Although, is he going to push into Squeaky now in a second?
Door will open here for Ulster, and Ruben biding his time. Lovely few frags there. The Deagle and the P250 not getting any work done either for UU, and that is round number 12. And it's looking like this might be sort of the end game here for UCD. They just need to close it out here now, and this will be the first challenge for them. AKs being bought. No AWP, of course. The money isn't that good just yet, but smokes, flashbangs, Molotovs, AKs, the whole shebang against some MP9s, FAMAS, and then 2 M4s for UCD. This will need to be the round if Ulster want to win. And Lindsay's just doing that. 1 frag goes his way, and a second bit of damage there to Mr. Turtle before Incipients trades it out onto Belong. And all of a sudden, what seemed to be going the way of Ulster has been just ever so slightly brought back into the balance here. Blue Penguin with a really tight angle catches off Aiden there. 3 versus 4 now, and 2 players on the A side, 1 in the ramp area. Mr. Turtle still hiding in around this box, and they're just waiting for perhaps an execute onto the A side.
Mr. Turtle is a one-hit kill for most of those AKs if they hit him in the body. Is he making noise pushing out A? He will be caught off guard by Danny on top of the hut, and now it's a 3 versus 3. They've just given up the man advantage. He's in such a good spot here to catch the other two players coming out. They have flashes, but they're not going to use them. They're just going to walk out, and he's going to pick up the first, do a lot of damage onto the second. Blue Penguin picks up Danny. Broken finds Incipients, and now it's just Mr. Turtle in the 1 versus 2. Low HP. And his position will be Molotov's off. It looks like he's going to walk outside. Will Broken catch him on timing here? Oh, unfortunate. Better angle there for Broken. He was just a little bit away from the corner and gave him a bit of an advantage in the fight. And also, I think he was waiting for Mr. Turtle specifically. I wonder if there was a sound cue or something. I'm not sure. But either way, that is one of the win conditions for you here, was getting that round. Now they just got to keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, it's all about momentum now. We can see as well, Mac-10's purchased Tonesy and Long, the ones to do that, as they realize only Danny with armor on the CT side. So these Mac-10s could prove in huge, and it's going to be a rush down ramp there, but Danny with the 1D catches off Long, and now it's up to Tonesy to try and salvage some more money here. 1 HP onto Broken from Ruben there. Does get that frag as well. Belong to trade him out as Tonesy. Does stabilize the situation a little bit with a frag onto Mr. Turtle. 2 versus 3 now. Just the pistols for UCD. Trying to get whatever damage they can get done, and well, Aiden's going to win that 1v1 any day of the week. A Deagle versus a Mac-10.
Even without the body armor.
Yeah. And it will be the retake for UCD. They've nothing really to lose in this round. And the more damage they can do, the better.
Run out and maybe take another gun out of their hands. But along with that off angle, we'll find Danny and Aiden, apologies, and now it's just Incipients in the 1 versus 2. He will fall for Blue Penguin 3 on the ramp position, who will gladly pick up that deagle for himself and take it into round number 20. The score is 12-7, and I've just knocked a pillow off my chair. Give me a second.
All good, all good. Gotta stay comfy for these big long best of 3s. Who knows, this could be the game to set it off, and perhaps it could be a full 3-map series. It's been 2-0 throughout this whole entire playoffs. So who knows, this could be the one to change it all. But Tonesy taken down to 72 HP. And with the Mac-10, it's not the ideal position to be in. Danny, his SMG counterpart on the CT side, but Incipients with the AWP. That may be the one X factor into this round, and Belong, well, he's got to be careful here. Missed shot there from Incipients, just missed him there. And Belong is able to escape with his life.
Lovely smoke lineup coming out from Tonesy here for the deeper outside smoke. You don't see a closer one coming, so it's probably a fake. Oh, Blue Penguin looking like he's going to throw it from on top of T roof. But it looks like they doubled back towards inside. Maybe they're going to hit ramp here. Look at this. UCD predicted it. Agent's already there and waiting with Danny. I wonder what gave it away. One of the outside smokes missed, actually. That might have been it.
Yeah. Big gap there, but Belong is in secret now. And he's making his way down on the B side as the remainder of his players pushing out from lobby into hut onto the A site, and the frags, well, they're all going the way of UCD. And Belong, he was in secret, eventually catches one frag, and he's certain that there's somebody in that cubby corner, but unfortunately for him there won't be. Now a 1 versus 2 for himself. Molotov onto the site to flush out Aiden here, and he's played it perfectly, but Aiden just has that angle and the aim to do it. And that is round number 13 now for UCD.
That was a beautiful crossfire setup UCD had on A there. One player in heaven, one player watching the squeaky position, and one player on site holding the door. They were just able to play off each other beautifully, and the trades just constantly, no matter how many trades you got there, UCD were going to come out on top, just purely on positioning. That was really something to watch. Anyway, UU stuck onto an eco round. They're going to have a couple of pistols and a scout in the hands of Tonesy. Will narrowly dodge that HE grenade. We'll spot out Incipients in the garage and actually land a bit of damage onto him, but won't find the frag just yet. Ruben also going to take a bit of damage.
You would want to have that scout with and the deagle combo. It would definitely be Tonesy in this round.
Definitely, yeah.
A little bit of damage onto Ruben as well. Just any bit of damage you can get really helps out against these pistols, but Aiden says no. Headshot to Long there, and a headshot onto Belong with Mr. Turtle doing that damage. Blue Penguin, the only Ulster player to get a frag in this round, as the remainder of his players are weeded out by the UCD side. Just the man himself, Toonsy, with the deagle in hand now. Catches the angle of Incipient, somehow weaves his way into the vent, and now he waits for them to fall. But are UCD too smart to realize?
I
Doesn't
think
even matter. He walks away.
they smell a rat. I think there's no way they're dropping down there against the deagle.
I think
Fonzie
if
is
you're
gonna.
Toonsy, you might actually want to die here. Either get a
That's
bomb planted or die.
It's a very good point, actually. Yeah, 'cause of course he won't get any loss bonus if he survives, and he doesn't want to take a scout into the next round. And the rest of his team will have AKs. He will get that kill onto Danny, but Ruben will swing out and finish him off, and find an AUG for himself. Very fancy indeed. Very bouge. That will be a
Yeah,
buy,
take them.
however, coming out from you now.
No AWP yet either on the T side, but at the same time, nothing for UCD. They are 7 rounds ahead now, of course, so they can take it that little bit easier. Incipients probably will have enough in the next round for an AWP if he wished, but it looks like they're deciding against it. He's happy enough with that AUG, but does get that frag. It looked like it might have went the way of Tonesy there initially, but Incipient's crouching with that AUG. He knows what's up. And he might just hear the footsteps of the Ulster players now in the secret. Danny will catch off Belong, however, on the ramp side. So that's one prong of attack gone for Ulster. As Aiden, ever so quick down them stairs, won't catch any frags, though the damage is huge. And Danny, up on the rafters there, gets both frags, and that's match point now. Match point, I should say. My apologies for UCD.
That it is, and not only so, but the Ulster Unicorns are a very rough spot economic-wise. They're gonna have to force up pistols and maybe a low-grade SMG. A Galil in the hands of Blue Penguin, a UMP in the hands of Belong, and 3 Tech 9s. No player has full utility, whereas over on UCD, 3 AKs on the CT side. And you know what they say, there's a reason CTs can't buy AKs, you have to earn them. I think you definitely have to work cut out for them here. Is it going to go for a quick ramp rush? Danny will get the first. He'll pick up the second. He will get a lot of damage done onto the third. As Ruben finds one in main as well. And now it's just Blue Penguin left in a 1 versus 4 on match point. He has to keep his team alive. He will get that first kill onto Aiden. Up to 12 HP in the meantime. But he is stuck in this corner here. And Incipients will finish him off. That is going to be map 1 going in favor of UCD. 16-7. Nearly 30
Yeah.
kills there for Danny. Damn.
Big performances being brought out there from UCD, and I think maybe a bit more experience playing in Nuke and being more comfortable in it in the end was enough to take Ulster on their pick as well. So that is quite good. On UCD's pick, I should make that clear. So yeah, Train will be the next map, and perhaps might be just that little bit tighter.
Indeed, yeah, this is, of course, also Unicorn's map pick. UCD will be starting on the CT side. So also Unicorn probably will have the strategic advantage here, but UCD obviously starting on the favorite side is also nothing to look over. We are going to
Yeah.
jump to a short break, I believe, before jumping into the second map. So we will be back with you in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Apologies for the noise there. I think I accidentally turned the music up to full volume, so hopefully it wasn't too loud. But anyway, we're coming into map number 2, which is going to be Train. The teams will be readying up in just a minute. We're just waiting on one player to join up. Um, yeah, so this map is going to be UU's map pick, of course. So they're probably going to have the upper hand in terms of comfort on the map coming into this. Um, but as I said, UCD are going to be starting on the CT side as well as a result of that. So they're also going to have the advantage in that the map is quite CT sided, all things considered. But anyway, you definitely need to pick up this map now if they want to have a chance at their spot in the finals against TUD next Wednesday.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to try bring this one back, especially if you're starting on this T side on what would be famously a CT sided map. So Ulster are going to have to bring out all the stops here, and I'm assuming that they've got some sort of work done. This is the map that they did pick, so I'm hoping there's some cheeky plays, maybe something just that little bit extra to take it all the way. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Indeed,
But
we will, and
I
we'll be
think
kicking off
I think
in
this
just a
might be
minute.
UCD.
You think UCD are going to take the map?
Yeah, I'm not holding out. Not holding my breath.
Yeah, obviously UCD have a lot of experienced players in the likes of well, pretty much the entire team at this stage actually. Most of the players have been around since the start, and those that haven't have been very, very active in the Irish competitive scene as a wider scale. So a lot of experience on this team, and a lot of people have probably played a lot of maps of Train. So you while they probably have done a lot of prep and strats for this map as well, it's unlikely they'll have something that UCD probably haven't seen before, but even still, the on paper stuff comes secondary, of course, to trading and winning rounds, which is something UU are going to have to come out on top of here if they want to win this map.
And yeah, it looks like we're just waiting on a few players to ready up here, and we will be underway very shortly. But yeah, just harken what I was saying. I think this is a very CT sided map, and although this is Ulster's pick, you're playing on the T side of a CT side map just isn't the way to go about things. So they're really gonna have to play extra cautious. I think if you're gonna win this from a T perspective, you might need at least 5 or 6 rounds T side to get anything sort of done that way. And that will make it doable. So fingers
Mhm.
crossed that uh things things go their way.
I do agree. Yeah, 4 rounds I'd say is absolute bare minimum for UU here. If they can get that on their T side, they'll actually be in a pretty good spot for their CT side. So um, the early rounds I think will be quite important here. You will want to get their footing. They'll probably want to pick up the pistol and capitalize off the second round, and that's like half their work done from them there because have the economy advantage on round number 4 anyway. We've just received word from our admin that the game is now live in real time, so we will be readying up in just a minute now.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. I think I'm assuming this is going to be a closer game than what was sort of a runaway experience there for UCD in the end on Nuke. But at the start, it was fairly close. Getting that pistol round win was quite a good play there from Ulster, but they just didn't have the capabilities to hold it back and maintain that lead. So if they
Yeah,
can,
worth mentioning I think
yeah,
as well that the CT side won both maps or both pistol rounds on Nuke, so uh, both teams did actually manage to take a pistol round, which is interesting. So I wonder in now on Train will we see something similar, or will one team kind of prove dominant to strats or whatever to take up both pistol rounds?
yeah, looks like we're just getting everybody readied up, and then we'll have to wait and see what this pistol round can bring. I think actually train for a T side pistol round. It's actually one of the more, although like train is a very CT sided map, you can get away on the T side with maybe chucking a smoke down and getting that initial bomb plant maybe in B site. And then if you have enough players to just send all the way up through up oil or up to the sort of connector side of B, you can really make
Mm,
a case for yourselves. So I
yeah.
wouldn't count Ulster out just yet. If they get this pistol round, it could be all the difference.
Anyway, we're going to be kicking off into our second map now. As the teams are going to purchase up, we will see four sets of armor on UU, sets on UCD as well. Ruben picking up the HE grenade and the kit. Looks like he's going to throw it on the B ramp whenever he hears something. That could be lethal. Over on UU, we do have Long with a smoke and a flash. Ruben will take a bit of damage, but that grenade will only just actually do a bit of chip damage onto a couple of players. Aiden gets that first kill of the round onto Belong. Onto Blue Penguin. Incipiens picks up one on Belong. Aiden picks up a second one onto Broken. Danny one taps onto Tonzi. And suddenly it's just Long left in the 1 versus 5. You get the first, but he will be finished by Mr. Turtle. Going for those body shots against a player with no armor. Not much can be done there. That was in stark contrast to what we expected. We expected the B push, but we thought you might at least get a bomb plant down there. But no, UCD held tight and shut them down pretty hard.
Yeah, I think that was 3 CT players on the B side initially for that pistol round, and I think the number of people that they just had was enough to sort of overwhelm any attack onto the B side. That nade that they threw at the start didn't do much damage, but the headshots from Aiden and co, they were just suffice. As we can see, this should be a clean-up round here for UCD as well.
Eco frag hunting. As we see a pretty widespread of kills so far. No player getting 2 kills, which is actually pretty good because that means all the players will have that little bit of an economic boom coming into next round. Ruben, though, he's heard both players. He heard the bomb plant. He will find Blue Penguin and he will take out Tonzi as well. Yeah, that is definitely a nice little bit of saving up in the piggy banks there for UCD.
Yeah, and they're going to make the most of it as well. I think they might hold on to some of these SMGs. Yeah, it seems like Incipiens, instead of buying, is just going to keep the UMP drop to him. Treat this as sort of a bonus round for themselves and hope for the best. Maybe push into Pop Dog here if I were Danny. Incipiens looks like he's going to help him out as well. So that is going to be actually quite a dangerous position to have these SMGs in. And Incipiens is actually getting very cheeky here. He's peeking out. Bit of damage done onto Long, but he escapes with his life. And Belong tagged down to 29 HP from Mr. Turtle Scout.
Is it just me or is everyone on UCG a god tier scout player? The amount of like crazy shots you've seen of them getting out their life from Ruben in the last map, Mr. Turtle in this map there with that lovely tag. Somehow he didn't get punished for that. He just re-peaks and gets a second bit of damage. It's very interesting to watch. Slow round from UU. They do have 5 AKs and a decent amount of utility, so they can't afford to do this. But look at this push from Incipiens. He'll get the first, he'll get the second, and he'll do a lot of damage onto Tonzi, the third. But that is 2 kills in favor of UCD. A third one as well as Danny picks up Long. Broken will find Aiden, and now it's a 3 versus 2. They do have control of the bomb, and it looks like Tonzi's just going to run towards the B bomb site. But Ruben, in that upper position, will be caught with his knife out. 2 versus 2. Danny, bunny hopping up the ladder, will find Tonzi drop the bomb. And Broken is just all alone over on that A bomb site.
The only benefit that Broken has is that they don't seem to realize where he is, but on the flip side, Broken's going to have to take a gamble and assume that this is clear. And, well, hopping
oh,
up and down. Oh, yeah. He was lucky to escape there without taking any damage, but he's 10 seconds left. I don't think you should be faking this one, mate. And Mr. Turtle, well, this might be a knife frag. No, the timing won't favor him, and instead Broken gets the frag, but Danny quick enough on the rotate to trade it out. And there's a little bit of BM coming in, perhaps. Yeah,
we
just
do
a little
love
bit.
To see it.
Beautiful.
But that is also an AK now coming into the round number 4. History is repeating itself. I think UCD's CT side went exactly the same way on Nuke there. They picked up the rounds, they won the second round and the third round. And as Danny clutched out a 1 versus X on the third round, bringing an AK into the fourth round. So history is repeating itself here. Look at this double up setup from UCD, however. Incipiens and Mr. Turtle both picking up one.
And the A side really is the place to do it as well. Both watching into A main. Won't catch any of the Ulster players, however, and that smoke just dropping down might block some vision. But Aiden on the top of Blue Train doesn't spot anyone either, but they are in there. Blue Penguin at the back left. Shoulder spotted and Frag goes his way. Jonesy has to trade out and Mr. Turtle helping out Aiden there will catch the frag as well. Danny finding Broken and doing 33 damage to him as well. And just like that, it looks like another round going the way of UCD.
Look at this aggression from Aiden. This is the confidence UCD have right now. 2-man advantage. And Aiden is holding W into team main. He's going to be
Just look at
coming.
Belong here.
Finds the
Oh
bomb
no,
here.
mate. Ah. He had an instant headshot on, I believe it was Ruben, and he completely whiffed it.
Oh, you hate to see it. And there's going to be the 4th round now in favor of UCD as they cannot seemingly be stopped here. 2 AKs now in their control, an AUG, and still that double up setup. Full grenades. Meanwhile, over on the Ulster Unicorns, they're pretty much broke. They're going to have to pick up, what, 2 deagles, 2 pieces of body armor, and the rest is just going to be a full eco here. They're going to call a timeout, however, to perhaps assess what they can do better next round.
Yeah, this time out better have some interesting strats involved because it seems to be a sort of go standard, like, I don't know, face it game, send 2 people out A main, 2 players, maybe 1 pop, 1 B, have a guy Ivy, hope for the best, and the frags just aren't going their way. So I think another avenue will be having to be taken here. And UCD.
What's very interesting here is if you look at the money spent by both teams, UCT have actually spent less on this round than UU have on their eco, because that's how little utility and weaponry UCD lost in that last round.
That is quite funny. Quite sad if you're Ulster, to be fair, but you're rolling in the bank now if you're UCD.
Yeah,
Sooner or later we'll see the 16k mark perhaps.
Sipians didn't need to spend a single penny that round. Didn't use any utility at all. It is going to be a slow round despite the force buy, which is interesting to see. Tonzi, ooh, hyped up by Aiden there, who's just led him away barely with his life.
That was close.
Looking like they're going to group up over towards the B-bomb site, where Ruben will have his work cut out for him. Let's have a look at him here now.
Blue Penguin might be the first to fall though.
Oh, Mr. Turtle finds that one. He takes those. As the ramp push comes out, Mr. Ruben just hiding in the corner. He'll be dropped by Long. He's just going to hard clear that angle. Great stuff from him. Mr. Turtle will trade it out, however, and he will keep his eyes on the bomb site. It's big for UU though. The bomb plant here is pretty good.
Yeah, I would definitely take a bomb plant here if you're Ulster, and any subsequent strikes you can get damage would just be amazing. Mr. Turtle, unfortunate there not to fall hands of Flimsy. Does catch off Incipient dropping down there though with a wee dig. Bit of damage on the Aiden, not too bad. I would take that if you're Ulster. Get the bomb down, and you've a lot of money now for this round. Get an AWP in, maybe Broken. He's got the spawn for that Amy and peak, and it looks like Belong's actually going to buy the op instead. So we'll see how that fares out for them.
Indeed, both teams investing heavily into this round. Belong lacking a little bit of util, but as you said, he does have that AWP. And we've seen the damage that he can do with it on the previous map, with those Jame time rounds. He definitely found his frags, and this round he will too, as he takes up Mr. Turtle straight away. It's a big opening for UU here. Ooh. Aiden pushed all the way past E-Box, will spot out Tonesy. He gets, I don't know, flashed into a wall. Oh, that's the bomb! Oh my god, yeah.
And look at that gap in the smoke. Incipients will definitely be punishing that. Spots the head of Long there. He won't actually catch him off, but he just widens the gap here now. The op peak will be shut down by Incipients as another frag goes the way of UCD. Ruben, he wants a slice of the pie now. He's going to be shifting up into Pop Dog, I would assume, and just clearing out some more angles there for UCD as it's now a 2 versus 4 here.
Long taking
Long
fights.
firing away there. Ooh, Blue
Oh,
Penguin as well chiming in. Somehow this has actually become fairly winnable. Danny's down to 12 HP, Long's on 5, and then Blue Penguin and Ruben are both on 100 here. All about the timing and,
this
well,
flank.
yeah, this. I don't think they've considered Ruben to be flanking like this, and he's so close to spotting off one of the players of UU. Instead, goes for the bomb planter, which is the higher HP player, and that's an easy cleanup then onto Long. Round number 6 going the way of UCD.
Danny will pick up an op to bring into the next round as well, taking it over the AK, which is an interesting one, despite UCD's booming economy. It's the Celtic Tiger over here on the CT side. UU still unable to concede, or unable to score against UCD's clean sheet here in map number 2. They will get another buy into this round, similar to the last one, except the AWP coming out in the hands of Tonesy this time, and the scout in the hands of Belong.
Yeah, the double scope setup here. I think a few wall bangs Tonesy's trying to ring off here, but he might just walk into the crosshairs of Mr. Turtle, and that will be that. The AWP down. Donny, however, on the Ivy side, tagged down to 30 HP thanks to that scout, and Long will in fact pick up the AWP now. Scoop's really doing all the work in this round. And Mr. Turtle just playing in and around Ivy. Might catch off Belong if he peeks far enough. Decides to smoke it off instead.
Oh, Mr.
Before he gets
Turtle.
that frag along. And he spots the shoulder, I think, of Blue Penguin there as well.
Broken will pick up Aiden, but Incipient's quick on the trade will find Broken. 2 versus 4 now. Both players stuck in main position. Mr. Turtle will find Belong, and now it's just Blue Penguin will pick up that AWP. He has up the bomb in his possession as well, but he's got 4 players to find and only 40 seconds on the clock.
I think you might just start to think to yourself that you have to go for a little save here. Blue Penguin meticulously clearing out all of the shower cubicles there. And, well, he's taking a sweet time, and it looks like this might be the save indeed.
He's not going to be taking any chances. He's just going to peacefully be waiting at the top of Pop Dog, hoping to catch perhaps an aggressive player. But he will find nothing as there's nobody close enough. A lovely round from the 2 ops coming out there on Incipients and Mr. Turtle. 3 kills for Mr. Turtle and 1 for Incipients. As UCD continue their clean sheet 7-0. Good UU now, you're kind of probably getting a little bit worried.
Yeah, you're definitely quaking in your boots right now. And whenever you have to keep buying up scouts as well to sort of supplement your AWP player, that's not the greatest either. You're starting to... Ooh, wall bang. Yes,
Ooh.
it's a scout wall bang, but still a little bit of damage, and I think that scared Incipients off the angle, allowing Blue Penguin to push out before Danny trades him out. Tonesy with the scout as well onto Danny. Long to get that frag on the Incipients, and all of a sudden it looks like this will be Ulster's first round. Bomb planted for Ivy here as Tonesy gets away with that, and Mr. Turtle just chilling in the back of CT, and, well, teammate pops a little, I think it was a failed pop flash there. Still drops down into Pop Dog. Belong misses the shot on him. Is Mr. Turtle still saving here, so I think Ruben might need to... I mean, he's got the money to work with, but if you look at your teammates, Aiden and Incipients, I think the right decision is to just save here.
I think you're right. They have to, as tempting as it would be to keep that clean sheet going even further, I think it's just a reasonable decision to save your weapons here and bring them into the next round, and that they will do, as they do bring that AK and AWP into round number 9. UU picking up their first round of the second map.
This could be the start of it. Who knows?
It's good. UCD pretty good in the old economy still. UU have another round or 2 to go before they can break it. But UU, however, do also themselves have a pretty good economic situation at the moment. They have nearly max loss bonus after just winning that 1 round there. So they should even be able to get another buy-in next round if they lose this one. But they'll be hoping to take this one and to finally break UCD's economy.
Yeah, it's going to be another slow round coming out here for Ulster. Just taking their time. They did get that round win, and hopefully that will sort of give them a little bit more confidence to enter onto a site here. And instead of focusing on A, it is going to be the B hit eventually. Just waiting for any sort of aggressive peaks from the UCD side. We'll see a flash coming into Amy and catches off Belong. Lovely little setup there from UCD. However, doesn't matter in the taking of the B site. Tonesy to get that first frag though from Pop Dog as Ruben almost gets that second one. He got the first on the long as Mr. Turtle helped him out on the broken. Now a 2 versus 3 and the bomb does get planted, but Blue Penguin's stuck in a very, very sticky situation. He's going to have to be helped out here by Tonesy. He doesn't realize though, Aiden right to his left there. Tonesy to trade him out. 1 versus 2. Can't get the frag though, and Danny will put UCD right back into the driver's seat. 8 rounds now, winning the half.
That they will indeed. UU, however, with their loss bonus and the bomb plant, will actually have one of their better, almost a better buy this round than they had last round, actually, funnily enough. So they're definitely not out of this yet, but they do have a lot of work to do if they want to have a hope of making this competitive. They've lost this half regardless, but they need to set themselves up at least for their CT side, give them a bit of room to work with. We will see an op coming out in the hands of Belong, and 4 AKs in the hands of the rest of the players. Pretty much matching UCD's buy with just the AK standing out in the hands of Danny, and the 1 op to match that of Belong in the hands of Mr. Turtle. Next soon be some sort of an A hit anyway. Mr. Turtle finds that first kill. We'll miss that second one. This lurk from Belong could catch Danny by surprise. Aiden will pick up Tonzi. Mr. Turtle will find Belong. Belong stuck in A main by himself. Danny will drop broken, but now Belong. 1 versus 4. This will be a 1 versus 5 if he manages to pull this off. But 34 hit points, no grenade, no bomb to work with. A lot of 4 players to find. Definitely a difficult situation. I think Aiden might catch him.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but it is what it is when you're 8 rounds behind. Your opponents are definitely going to be pushing pretty much everything. So, and you do got to meticulously clear those showers to be sure that they're not hiding around one of the corners.
Definitely don't want anyone lurking about. Well, that's it. Going to be another round here for Ulster, or UCD, my apologies. Too many U's to call out.
So many U's. There's 6 letters between the two teams, UCD, UUU, and 4 of them are U's. That's not fair. We will see Ruben dropping early on to Blue Penguin, however, as the bomb will go down on the B bomb site. Auto director, do you want it? There we go. Incipients will find Blue Penguin, however, in trade, as the retake is now coming in. UCD have a lot of utility to work with only a flash and a HE on the attacking side. Ooh. Aiden jumping up shot will take out Tonzi. You're going to be upset with that one. Along with the scout on ramp, though, we'll find Aiden before Danny trades him out with the headshot to the smoke and to the wall. Broken will get one onto Incipients. Mr. Turtle will miss that kill, but he will get the refrag with the P250. And that is going to be Danny picking up the final kill. And with the kit, there is going to be enough time to defuse here. 10 rounds now for UCD, as UU find themselves at just 1.
Look here at the scoreboard. Danny and Mr. Turtle, 12 and 2, 13 and 2 apiece. That is absolutely crazy.
That is substantial stuff from them. You will take a pause here, which is, I think, a great decision, because you really do need to sort of strategize here. This is your map pick. You've practiced on this. You have stuff. You know stuff on this map. Now it's time to put that to use and to figure out what UCD are doing to mess that up and what's going wrong, and to try and fix it in this short time that you do have.
Yeah, this is not the half that you would be hoping for if you're an Ulster fan here. Still, though, there is time to bring it to that 10-5 mark and perhaps win the pistol round, and you could be back in it. But that gap is just closing ever so slightly with each passing round going to UCD. I think a
Indeed.
drastic change is needed. And it looks like it might be a smoke setup here onto the A site. I don't think we have seen too much of this. It hasn't really worked out in the past though. And whenever you've got 3 players bunched up into Olaf, one frag goes their way though. Incipiens, Aiden and Danny all doing their bit though to stop it. Mr. Turtle as well, an important op frag, and I think they won't realize Aiden's in that smoke. And that's round number 11, just like that.
Indeed. Worth noting, I think, that out of the 12 rounds of this half so far, UU have managed to get the bomb down at least 5 of them, which is actually quite interesting. So it's not that their takes aren't working, it seems their afterplants are a lot of the problem here.
Yeah, that is actually quite an important point that you make there. You could sort of counter that by saying, you know, UCD are happy enough to let Ulster onto the site, maybe play retake onto some of the sites as they're confident to retake it. However, it doesn't look like that's going to be needed in this round. And Incipien's helping out his team there, Aiden with 2 frags of his own, taking what seems to be another round through the smoke. Danny, oh dear.
Spicebag.exe in action over here.
He's on the gear, boys. He's on the gear. Crisp, clean lock.
Sipians will pick up that last kill. That's going to be 12-1. There comes a stage where your lead is so far that you can kind of start changing it up as to like preemptively counter what the terrorists are going to do in this situation. And I think UCE are probably going to start doing that now. They're going to start getting aggressive. They're going to start using their confidence in their favor. They're going to take those fights in Ivy like Aiden did there close to Pop Dog. They'll take them when normally they might have given them up. And that's something that it's very difficult to counter. But quick Pop Dog play. Blue Penguin will find Aiden. And that should be an AK picked up. Ruben in upper B will just about find Boken with the last bullet through the smoke. It's a 4 versus 4 here. Mr. Turtle, too quick at the trigger, will take out Tonzi.
Nice little boost angle, really helped out Mr. Turtle there, and he's gonna have to come up with another frag. Unfortunately, gets tagged down to 11 HP, has to Molotov the bomb off and fall back for a retake now. Another bomb plant. As we were just talking, there have been a lot of them, but only one going their way in the end. So a 3 versus 3 retake here. Belong to take the first peek and Ruben to get that frag, making it ever so slightly winnable here for UCD. Long as well on the bomb site, tagged down to 17 HP. Blue Penguin trades it back though, and he has Danny to find as well. Danny doesn't even realize it. Another headshot goes his way. He's on for the ace here. Blue Penguin just catching one more frag. He gets Mr. Turtle. That's the ace that you really need to put Ulster back into this game. But the question is it too little too late?
Yeah, that is the question indeed. We've seen a lot of magic happen on the CT side of Train, and if you can pick up this last round and pick up the pistol round perhaps, or one of those early rounds, get the ball rolling early, just keep capitalizing, keep putting the pressure. I think they do have a chance still. It's not over. It's Ozzy. Lovely opening frag onto Mr. Turtle. Broken finds Ruben in that upper B area as well. Quickly, this is suddenly become a 3 versus 5 for UU here as UCD find themselves, they're 2 men down.
Finally nice to see some runs going the way of Ulster in this T side, and they're going to capitalize on their opening frags, but Incipient says otherwise. Still on the site. Tonesy will take him out though. Danny last to hold, waiting for his teammate Aiden to come in on the flank, and unfortunately for him, Belong is pushing up with that scout. Just Aiden now in a 1 versus 3 to end the half. Will it be round number 13 for UCD? Doesn't seem likely here.
Did he just dink
There we
Belong
have
in
it.
heaven with that flick?
I think it might have been.
Damn. Either way, that is a 3rd round now for UU as they finish the half. Well, 3 down. A lot of work to do, But they do have an advantage in the magical, mystical CT side of Train and its wondrous ways. So if they can pick a pistol, or maybe win the force buy in the second round or the first buy round, they might have a chance here, but they really, at very least, need to win one of the first 3 rounds here.
Yeah, this is the pistol round. I know we were saying sort of the bare minimum might be 4 rounds, but again, any round at this stage if you're Ulster is a bonus. So pistol round especially, even playing field, you don't really have to deal with any economy changes. Win this and you've started on the right foot here, but only one player in broken to stop this onslaught that's about to occur here. The smoke goes down. They wait just a second, and now Mr. Turtle drops through. No frags will go his way, and he's going to get swarmed here just in a second. Gets that first frag, and Long actually helps him out before Mr. Turtle finally takes him down from oil. And now it's a 3 versus 4 in the retake, looking that little bit better for Ulster right now. They smoke off upper, but it fails, and Mr. Turtle might be able to capitalize on that. Can he get the frag? All 4 Ulster players are facing him. He does get one. Belong trades him out now, a 3 versus 2, and this kit is still in hand, but they don't have a smoke to stop this Molotov. Ruben's just waiting, and he throws it. And is it good enough? It actually misses. No, finally, it just about moves on as he gets that next frag. Tonesy, though, without the kit, he did pick it up. Does Ruben realize this? He will get the frag. And well, that was a close one, but in the end, Ruben with that Molotov tipped the balance.
Lovely little 1v3 from him. He's been quite silent in the first half, but that kind of is the way when your team are just steamrolling. But 1v3 shows that he definitely has it in him to pick it up if needed, which is definitely a very scary prospect for UU here. It goes to show, even though that like Ruben may have been at the bottom of the scoreboard, he's definitely not a weak link by any stretch of the word. 13-3 is our score now. It looks like UCD are going to go for another quick B hit. Early smoke coming out towards connector, and it's just going to be broken with a 5-7 to hold off the push. He will get early damage done onto Aiden, but he will be dropped by Incipients, and that bomb will be going down completely uncontested. Rotate though, quick to come in, and he finds Blue Penguin and CT. And look at this, he's just keep pushing. Takes flashes with the Glock, and he's all the way in CT spawn. Long will pick up Incipients as Mr. Turtle picks up a Long. Aiden trades that out with the kill onto Long, and now it's just Tonesy. 1 versus 4. Bomb down. Danny almost falls to that 1D, but Tonesy. Oh, he will be caught by Aiden, absolutely clotheslined as he's trying to run away there. Nearly match point now for UCD. This is getting to dire straits for UU now. They have to win this round or it's do or die. No more mistakes. They cannot give up a single round for risk of overtime. That's a decent buy from UCD as well. They've invested AKs into this round.
Yeah, and it's going to be the smokes coming over onto the A side here. They do have some Mac 10s, but whenever the opposing side do not have head armor, it's still a viable strat here. And, well, Incipients gets that first frag and he tags Blue Penguin down onto the site there. He's still trying to battle away here, and Ruben just hopping about with that Mac 10. Through the smoke, the battle will be won by Incipients. Tonesy on the flank, though. It's a team kill from Mr. Turtle, and somehow, at the end, when all the dust has settled, it's just Belong on a 1 versus 2 now with the AWP.
No armor. He does have a kit, though.
Ooh.
No.
Not like this.
No way!
Well, that's one way to win it.
That wasn't even his defuse kit either. He picked that up. Bros don't fake indeed. Oh my god. We witnessed a proper ninja defuse. Not even a smoke defuse, just a ninja defuse.
Yeah. What an absolute legend. Well, he may have given up the AWP, but he's won them the round and hopefully a chance to get their foot into this game. Unfortunately, UCD say otherwise. The frags just going their way. Long, however, holding Ulster into this round just ever so slightly. Molotov will flush them out, and Mr. Turtle sights right in there. But the flank again from Tonesy came out well last time. might make all the difference again this time, but Mr. Turtle's now watching it. Not quick enough though, and the frag again goes Tonesy's way. Just Danny now in a 1 versus 2 of his own, and just has to isolate the spots. He spots the behind of Tonesy there. Picks up the M4 and smoke thrown, but not in the right direction, and somehow Danny has walked away and he has to throw this Molotov onto the bomb. I'm not entirely sure if it made it, but he's just somehow won that aim duel as well.
Oh,
And
it looks
just
like
like
Tozy
that,
picked up the XM. That was he actually might have won that if he held on to
oh,
the rifle.
oh dear.
It is unfortunate. It is, however,
Well, what could have been has well and truly been stomped out now. Look at that economy for Ulster. It is absolutely dire. And
yeah.
well, I think there's only one way to win this now for UCD. Send it out B in the
Just
classic matchmaking way.
Just gonna send it. Look, there's only one person here. It's only broken with that Mag 7 to hold it off towards the ramp position. But none of UCD have come ramp. They've all gone upper. And Incipiens picks up one. Aiden finds one. Ruben finds one. Ruben finds a second. And now it's just poor Blue Penguin left in the 1 versus 4. He will pick up Aiden. We'll get that flash off. Hopefully gonna find another. He will find Ruben as well. What a shot. But Incipiens finds the head of him and ends the potential for that ace on Blue Penguin. And that is going to be 2-0 to UCD as they are your ICE finalists. They, next week, will be taking on TUD in the ICE Winter Finals.
Well,
What a
wouldn't you
game.
know, it's a UCD TUD final and another clean sweep as well in this playoff series. So it sets the scene now for what could be a very explosive final, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Indeed, yeah. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, to our social media during the week as we will have more information as to when this final will be. And stay tuned for the rest of the week as we have more gaming coming. I believe we have League of Legends tomorrow and Rainbow Six on Friday. So that's it from us. Any final words, Ro?
Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good evening.